David told me to ask you the following question.
Oh, Jesus.
And this is something that I would probably hold till after the episodes air.
Okay.
Because he said in the final episode, Lucretia says to Leonardo to be free with who you are. And of course, I hear a sentence like that, and knowing the history of the character and all the questions that I always come at you guys, I'm like, how can you talk about that sentence and what is she saying to him really?
Well, she's aware, I think, that she has had a hold on him up to that point that has sort of slightly diverted him from a path that he would naturally follow. And he's had a very strange connection with Lucretia. It was always, although it was sexual in the first season, it's become more about the fact that both of them have left behind this trail of destruction. They've both got difficulty with their fathers. They've both been told what to do by some shadowy guy in the background, and they've both gone around the world trying to rectify things. So they kind of understand one another. And as a result, he's felt a loyalty to her that has meant he hasn't been free to explore necessarily who he really is. And I'm not just talking about sexuality, I'm also talking about himself as an artist and a creator, and he's been led down a path that perhaps isn't the one most natural to him. So with Lucretia giving him that freedom, he's allowed to explore himself fully, and it will be the Leonardo that people know from history, perhaps a bit better from that point on.
Do you think he'll always kind of be his own worst enemy, though, or do you think he'll get past that? Because you see, even in the first episode, he says, I have to defeat myself.
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, that was always, for me, it was always that, and I think I've said this to you before, but that feeling of taking him from someone who's relatively cocksure and arrogant and difficult and annoying through to someone who's more humble, who understands the weight of his own genius and knows... well, just knows how best to deal with it and how best to present himself to the world. And that's more like the Leonardo that people recognise from history. But I just didn't want to sort of get cut off midway through that journey, just leave him as that guy who's a bit of an arrogant dick and then never got to become a little bit more humble and self-aware, which I think is where we take him.